It's yet again, seems like weeks since I've talked. Well, it's not. I was literally talking to you last night, but it seems like weeks since we did the podcast. So,
every time something big and mad happens, the podcast seems to kind of take a break of its own accord, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has. It's following our trajectory. It's going. No, leave the lads alone this week.
Yeah, leave them alone. They're doing some weird magic shit. So let them think about this. Let them brood upon it. And see, we've joined a band, the Buddha LARPers and the Touts Experience.
That's quite funny. For people who don't know, on the Discord we had I don't know what it was, a kind of an interesting conversation about putting together a band of
people were letting. People got a kind of glimpse into what the conversations that me and you usually have between ourselves.
In private messages. People think they're really interesting, but let's see if we could put an awakening spiritual super band together, and I call it Silly Names. So if you want to check it out, the hilarity of that, the perceived hilarity of that, you can go into the DUNCAN BARFORD section of the Discord, and it's actually quite funny. I laughed numerous occasions.
The Buddha LARPers and the Touts Experience. That's the name I come up with. Yeah. Buddha LARPers is fucking hilarious. Well done, Abraxas. That was very, very.
And Abraxas is and now Wonderwall. He was on form.
Abraxas is Bez, isn't he?
Yeah. He's quite happy with that.
He didn't know who Bez was.
Well, I assume Bez doesn't translate across the water as well as it probably does. He does over here. Like he's.
No, but I mean, I just thought that. Well, I suppose Happy Mondays aren't really. American rock music is kind of strange because it's either like really, really heavy, like I don't know, Slipknot or Soundgarden or whatever, or else it's like Nickelback. You know.
Well, they're Canadians. You can't blame the Americans for that. So.
Oh, sorry, yeah, they're Canadian. Yeah. Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Aren't they awful?
Mutants from Mars.
They're a pop band now, though, aren't they?
Yeah, I actually like the first album's not terrible. Like it's like there's some decent
the very first song they had is full of like distorted guitars and heavy riffs, and you're like, oh yeah, they sound cool. And then they come up with these like, what the hell happened then? But I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was kind of okay. So they don't know who the Happy Mondays are. That's.
Well, I mean, they might not know who the Happy Mondays are. I'm sure they know a couple of the songs, but they might know the genius that is Bez, because it's like it's not as if he was like. Well, I was going to say it's not as if he's a key component of the Happy Mondays, but he really was.
He was the key component.
Yeah. He was essentially a guy on drugs on stage pretending to be a percussion player. It's essentially really.
Yeah.
That's it.
He had the little. What do they call it? Maracas.
Maracas. Yeah.
I keep thinking of castanets. He didn't have castanets. That'd be funny.
Maybe he taught me castanets. But he's all clean and sober now and quite sensible and stuff. Or at least
he was on
one season of some TV program I watched not long ago.
Didn't he do one of those Big Brother things or celebrity
actually,
eating
jungle
snakes
or something? Was it? Yeah, celebrities eat snakes. That's what it was.
Celebrities eat snakes. Yeah. He seems like a sound lad. Your man Shawn Ryder seems pretty sound as well.
Yeah, he's not well though, isn't he? He's something's happened. He's sort of bloating up and all this stuff. Like he gave up all the drugs, got himself sorted, whatever, and then got I think I could be wrong.
Then he got sick.
He got sick, but he got like really bad rashes and he started bloating and he's all his hair fell out and all this kind of stuff.
Shite.
Yeah.
Not a poor devil. Yeah, Happy Mondays are alright. I mean, I'm not mad into them. I'd be more into, I don't know, maybe more kind of Primal Screamy. Like they came later, didn't they? Did you know your man was in Primal Scream for a while?
From Stone Roses.
No, Kevin Shields.
Oh right, no, I did not know that.
Kevin Shields was in it for a while. Not mad, innit? There's a great interview with him on The Guardian, if you like My Bloody Valentine, and it's great. And
is that a band that Americans would know? That's probably.
Oh, jeez, they have to know My Bloody Valentine. Yeah. Sure, he is American, isn't he? He's American-Irish, Irish-American. Yeah. Can we claim him as an Irish band? Because
I think
there's two Irish people in it.
I have to ask. Well, it's the same. It's the Snow Patrol thing. There's two Irish people, two Scottish people originally. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah, but your man Snow Patrol
American-based though. Who, the singer? Well, he calls himself a Celt, so.
But he's not green, if you know what I mean.
Oh, right, okay. I just assumed, I don't care. I like him as a song.
I know, I don't care either,
but it's just because he has Celt on his guitar and I thought he was making a point.
No, there's been comments in the past he's made about stuff where he likes the Queen, put it that way.
Oh, I know people who like the Queen who live in the town
I don't know anyone.
I
don't think I've ever met anyone that likes Queen of England. That wasn't from there. No, even English people I know don't particularly like her.
Well, I know people who
strange.
probably like who like.
Well, it's not her. Her as a person. She's probably grand and all.
Yeah.
Her
But I
as
mean,
a thing.
like they like the princes and princesses and all that. But that's part of celebrity gossip rather than the royalty. Like that's the equivalent of Kardashians. Like it's not adhering to 600 years and all that stuff. It's just like because they're in their they're on Instagram, whatever. So I it's not the same. But I mean, context, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, you're watching this celebrity thing with the tennis player. That's awful upsetting.
I've no idea
what's going on. What's her name? Osaka is her second name. I tweeted about her yesterday.
Oh, I seen some rumblings of something on Twitter about along the lines of this was a white male, it wouldn't happen, and I kind of went, is this Twitter or is this real? So I just avoided it.
The reaction to it's been terrible. Like it's just.
Okay, explain it to me because I literally know nothing.
Okay, so she's a tennis player in the top 20, right? She's not that particularly well known. Like, okay, people who are into it would know her.
What's her name?
I don't remember her first name. Osaka is her surname.
Right, I've never heard of a tennis player called Osaka.
Open my Twitter there. I tweeted about her. I don't remember. I don't have any. Oh yeah, do you remember when I said I can't wait to work without computers?
And then it happened, Spud. Don't say those things.
And now my computer's broke. So
remember when I smashed guitar in Turbine Syndrome and all my computer equipment that I use music broke? Remember that? Don't do these things.
Yeah, I know. But coming home the other day, there was a huge storm between my town and Bielsko. It's only half an hour away. There was 3 car accidents. Polish people are great. They can drive like I don't know. What's that rally guy from Scotland who's dead? Colin McRae. They can drive. Yeah. They can drive like Colin McRae in the snow. They're great in the snow. Once it rains, smash, bang, crash everywhere.
Right.
And I was starting to get frustrated because I was into my 6th hour of driving now, and I always have that thing. And I've said it before to you. That at the end of the Paulo Coelho book, isn't it, The Alchemist? You're always tested before you get to the end, like a culmination of everything that's gone on before. And
it turns out it was under the tree all along where you started.
So I'm driving away and there's crashes going on, there's ambulances flying fucking everywhere and the rain is bucketing down, and I hit the steering wheel and just went, enough! Stop fucking raining, please! And it did, and it freaked me out.
Awesome.
Like if anyone had, if there had been a crash and they went through like the dash cam footage, it just would have been this demented fool just going, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I knew it was delirious from being in the car for so long. What's her name?
Naomi Osaka.
Naomi Osaka. So she came out a while ago saying she wasn't going to do any press at the one of the Open tournaments, I think it's the French Open, I think. And she put out this thing saying, look, I don't like the interviews. I'm a pretty anxious person. I'm always going around with my headphones on because I don't like people talking to me kind of stuff. It's my thing. It's my issue. So, like, she's coming out and telling the world, look, I have a mental health issue. Please be respectful. And she just gets shit on. Just completely destroyed. Like, so much so that she's had to come out again a couple of days later and says, yeah, I'm just not going to play. Good luck.
Right.
You know, she basically just took a check that had 50,000-60,000 euros on it and just went, no. Like, who doesn't need that money?
Well, I don't which is...
Well, maybe she doesn't need
money's
the money.
very little to do with it, I would say.
But I mean, she's a top quality sports player and she's not going to play her sport because fucking white dudes on Twitter are like, how can she not interview the job and it's in her contract? What the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah.
What the hell,
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds terrible. God help him. And obviously, like, no matter who is, what money you have, well, let's show Bill Gates, 50 or 60 grand. I'm sure Bill Gates still, but if he'd lost 50 grand, he'd go, Christ, I lost 50 grand. So it's like, so I don't think it was just like, fuck it. I'd like to say it was a very considered decision that from the very little I know about it that you've just told me.
No, I know, but it's just sad that it would have taken so much effort for her to even put that out and admit it to millions of people. Like, look, I have this thing, I don't want to do interviews. And then instead of being shown a bit of compassion or a bit of sympathy, people just go, because they hate themselves.
Yeah, and I see that McMahon has saying that Piers has an article out about it. That's shocking news. I'm shocked.
That is
Piers Morgan,
shocking.
of all people, is involved in this. I just like, did he not fall off the face of the planet a couple of weeks ago and
Did he
in
walk
shame
off
at his own TV show?
In his own TV show, he lost a row with the weatherman about what's her name? Not Kate McCann.
You one from Suits.
The girl that has
The actress.
Prince Harry. Princess, is she princess? What's her name? Megan something. Megan Kardashian.
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle? Is that her name? I have no idea what her name is. The pretty girl.
Megan from Family Guy.
Is that not nice that I call her a pretty girl instead of knowing her name? I don't know.
I've
Maybe
no
she's not
idea
pretty.
anymore.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, Tommie. I don't know.
I think if you're saying something where I don't know if I should say this or not, you're not allowed to say it. I think that's a good rule. I don't know if I should say it. Don't say it.
Is this joke racist? Yes. Yes, it is.
yes. Is this appropriate? No.
Oh.
No. Anything that's appropriate, you don't have to think about. Within reason, I know
the name of the
rules change.
His first album.
Yeah, I think, but sometimes the rules change overnight, and I just can't keep up them. But that's such is life. So yeah, the greatest TV program of all time is back on, Spud. I love it. Skinwalker Ranch.
Oh, Skinwalker Ranch is back. Yeah. Oh yeah, what's it on? Oh yeah, it's on the thing. Oh yeah, don't say what it's on.
It's on the thing.
It's on that thing. But where is it properly? Is it on? Is it Amazon? An Amazon show?
I assume it's whatever Ancient Aliens is on, and Secret of Oak Island. That has to be Secret of Oak Island. It's exactly the same stick. That's whatever that's on. Yeah, History Channel. Whatever the one where when you put it on, it's always Nazis, and then the next one is Nazis. You know that one, and then Ancient Aliens. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, not TVP, the news channel in Poland. It's not that one. It's out in Polish, that one. Yeah. Is it any good?
It's amazing. It's awful. It's amazing. It's just so bad. It's amazing. It's like it has that perfect.
The first one was fun though.
Oh no, but it's so fun. It's so ridiculous. Like it's very hard to spoil anything because it's literally the first episode is to pour water down a hole. That's it. 44 minutes. I was riveted. I just, this is amazing. Get the drones up. Let's see where this water's going.
But is this the hole where they think the spaceship is under the road? That one?
It's close to it. It's close to it. It's close to it.
But like they dug holes last in the last series, and they're like, yeah, there's definitely something down there.
But your man's brain expanded, and he nearly died. Remember? And in Dragon, security guard, no digging. So, I know, it's just so good.
I don't know if
your man Travis, the main guy. I know it's as good as the first one. There's no.
Oh, is it? Oh, then okay.
The cow it makes a reappearance again from last season. He's back in it. He's back to
life.
Yeah. Well, no.
She died.
No. Oh well. No. It's weird. People have never seen this before. This has never happened. It's very strange. People have never seen this before. Yeah. Brilliant. I love it.
Good.
I have to admit that when I seen it was back, I got a little bit giddy. I went, oh no, it's back! Here we go.
And all of them are out. All the 10 episodes.
No, it's I think there's 4 out now. Like so, it's literally on at the mid-season at the minute.
Isn't that what they do? They put out 4 episodes, and then they have this commemoration Memorial Day, and then they stop things, and then they put it back on again. Isn't that what Americans do?
And then the last episode's a recap, so there's really only one more episode if there's 6 episodes.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
It's like,
Okay. There's only 6 episodes. I thought your man was a billionaire.
He is, yeah. He hired a doctor this time, just in case things go strange.
Why is Linda not back? No,
Linda's not. There's been no guest. Oh no, there's been a couple of people come back, sons and daughters of famous people who have photos to show. It's brilliant. If you like that sort of stuff, it's brilliant.
I like the first one. Yeah, the first one's good crack. Yeah,
docutainment or whatever that word is. It's certainly not. And you can tell that like this filling the water down the hole could have happened like 3 months after what happens in episode 2, and you can see they're trying to weave this story and great, brilliant. It's it's not going to prove anything. It'll be like Oak Island, 11 seasons of
11 seasons and just
whatever it is.
Oh, we dug in the wrong place. Yeah. Oh no,
maybe we should go back to that first hole where all the legends are that we found nothing for 3 seasons. Let's go back there. But what
is the Oak Island thing? The Templars, isn't it? Templars brought gold.
Templar.
Why would you bring gold from Europe though? Oh no, did they find it in South America? Was that it? And they were bringing
because the Templars hid all the gold because it was being taken from them and they were being killed and they were being, all that whole thing where they were outlawed and they were being destroyed and
that was in France though, wasn't it?
France so they left and hid it in Oak Island. That's That's the.
Why didn't it just
theory.
hide it in like England or Scotland, somewhere
Well,
closer?
they did that whole. Is it Rosslyn Chapel? Is meant to be some sort of something connected to it. I don't know.
That's in Scotland, isn't it?
Yeah. So there's meant to be stuff
That's right, yeah.
weirdness. It's just a legend. Like, don't think that much about it, man.
Well, yeah, it's
why
obviously
wouldn't it do
true,
that?
I
It's
mean.
obviously true. What me and Finesse started doing towards the end was we'd watch the first episode of the season and the last episode of the season, because that's all you need to know in Oak Island. Did they find anything? No. Fine. Next season, please.
It's like it's the same, isn't it? The same with Charles Dickens' books. Because all his books, when they came out first, were all serialized in newspapers. If you just read the first paragraph of each chapter, and the last paragraph of each chapter, then you're grand.
Then you have everything.
That's all you
Right.
need. Yeah, you have everything. Not mad, isn't it?
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes was the same, but I don't think you'd get away with it quite that. Although most of the charm of Charles Dickens is in the characterization anyway, not the storyline, I assume. Having never read anything
Charles
other than
Dickens,
Christmas
do you?
Carol. I like Christmas Carol. Who doesn't? Come on.
We had
My dad
we
is
had
the huge Charles Dickens fan. He's like read everything loads of times. Yeah.
right, we did Hard Times in school, in secondary school. That's a slog, man. It's all about utilitarianism. Is that the right word?
I don't know. I
So
haven't read it, so I don't know.
Right, it's kind of like A Tale of Two Cities in that it's kind of based on two families. So there's one family who are like rich factory owners, landowners, and it's this kind of stiff upper lip imperialist Protestant view on how to raise children, in that, like, right, you're not children, you're units of not manufacturing.
Production.
No, not even that, like, because they're already in the elite. You are what's the word I'm looking for? You don't really have thoughts or feelings or anything like that. You're just gonna live.
Oh, like an automaton,
learn.
something like that.
Yeah. That's what I'm fucking looking for. And then there's this other family who are like dirt poor, but
The Catholics,
through their,
right?
no, I don't think they're Catholic in it. But yeah, the Catholics. And they're dirt poor, but through their trials and tribulations, their family kind of comes together and they're happy. Whereas the other family, they just completely fall apart because of this unloving father's way of bringing them up, kind of thing. So the spoilers for Hard Times, but don't read it. It's a slog.
So
it's really depressing. Like, it's really depressing.
I can imagine. Yeah. So it's a bit like Monty Python, is it?
A big hand comes in at the last moment, drags Spud out.
New documentary. Well, I don't know how new it is on Netflix. The history of Monty Python. I'm halfway through. There's about 6 episodes.
Ah,
as well.
great.
It's good, yeah.
There's episodes, is it?
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
Oh, nice. I don't know if that's on my Netflix. I must have a look. Monty Python.
It's on that. It's on that other thing as well. So.
Right, yeah. It was massively popular over here, Monty Python. Even though, like, normally British comedy isn't. One time I was working with a fella. No, I can't tell that joke. No. What you were saying earlier.
Is this appropriate? He was working with a fella. He was lovely. He was a big fan of Monty Python. That's the end of the story. That's it.
Yeah, he was telling me a joke. No, he told a joke in front of 4 or 5 people, and the only one that laughed was me. And he went, "You see, that's why I like people from your side of Europe, because you laugh at things like this."
Right,
and I went,
right.
Maybe I'm wrong here. I'll tell you later.
Am I the baddie?
Am I the baddie?
Yeah. I'm reading a great book, Spud, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
I'll hold it up so you can see it. It's The New Science of Transformation, but it's actually really called How Enlightenment Changed Your Brain.
This is the one. I looked for this on Scribed, and I ended up with that Siddhartha one.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
This is this was on John Vervaeke's. You know when he throws out 60 books in every episode of his thing. This was one of the ones, and it's he really recommended it. It's kind of looking at the whole idea of enlightenment, but from a scientific point of view. In that, what does it actually do to your brain? What is the things that are actually happening? What are people reporting?
So it's not like a hack your way to enlightenment.
There's a section that I'm just about getting to, which it could veer into that. So, but shortcuts. But it would still be from a scientific point of view, where they're saying that, here's how people get to it quicker. People, and there is kind of stuff that the guy who wrote it, Andrew Newberg, he's in loads of documentaries. If you've ever watched any documentary about meditation, he's in it. And the other guy, Mark Robert Waldman, I definitely know his head, so he must have been in some documentaries or some YouTubes or something. But it's very interesting in that it takes it has a great down the line where it doesn't care religious, if you're religious minded, if you're atheist, it's irrelevant to the whole thing, and it looks at both and how it affects people. And one of the big things they did was they did a study where they asked, I don't know, I can't remember, 6 million people. That's definitely
four blonde women
about their enlightenment experience, and they described them, and then trying to collate all that together, and they've broken it down into small E enlightenment experiences and big E enlightenment experiences, and how people can have the same experience, but have completely different conclusions from it. But it changes the life in the same way, in the way that some atheists will have an enlightenment experience and find God, and some atheists will have an enlightenment experience and that satisfies them that there's no God. And some people,
funny,
and same with religious people, they found God, or they have a huge relief that there's no God, or whatever it is, and it's...
No, I get you. There's a thing, actually, last night, some YouTube spat a thing at me. Sam Harris on that big Think channel. You probably know that one. 6 or 8 million.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They have like Penn Jillette on it a few times to give these little talks about why immigration is good, why, for example. So Sam Harris had one, and I think it was 7 or 8 minutes long, about enlightenment from like his point of view, and how like, he's explaining like his process of coming to know the now and the enlightenment. But like he doesn't. It's kind of mad for me that like he didn't see any God in it. Whereas that like I was the atheist a year ago, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't need to talk to angels anymore, man. I got a direct fucking line to the big cheese. You know what I mean, like, fuck's this shit, like. Whereas Sam Harris is like, no, this is what this is, and this is what this is, and this is what this is. It's like, okay, that's cool that you're explaining all, but I don't know.
It just to me, it kind of it puts the maps. With the maps in the sense of the Enlightenment maps in perspective, in that they are literally maps, and not to be mistaken for the actual territory, because and it can only be somewhat of a representation of it. Because if you can have exactly the same experience and have a different conclusion out of it, or conclusion wrong, because that kind of sounds like you're making a judgment at the end. But if in something is different at the end of it for you, then
different interpretation,
whatever it is, then the map thing has to be taken not with a grain of salt, but because they obviously work, because you can follow them and you can see the thing, but it has to be, and I don't want to say it's individual either, but there has to be. It was like when I had when I did the video recently, I was talking about my different awakening experience, whatever, and I had a couple of people kind of going, "Have you tried to map this?" And I was going, "No," because. One, I don't want it I want to experience it rather than collect it. That's certainly because that's, and if, in the middle of it, and anything that like I'm aware of some of the maps, and it's not that, but also it is that, and all of those things, and it's just I don't want to say you try to map it to the stage 1 cosmology of Magia and whatever. You go, well, it's not that, and it's not it's this, but this seems kind of right, and you go, well, where am I? And then you can get a bit of kind of a sense of, I suppose, less clarity around it than what you had, in a sense.
No, I get you.
Yeah, but like definitely, because I'm back reading Daniel Ingram's the tome that is the hardcore teachings, and they're immensely helpful. But there's any amount of maps in that book as well. Like it says, and he has,
Do you know what? Hold on, give me. I'm gonna move the camera here so you'll only see the top of my head. There's a book I'm kind of half working.
Your camera's gone now.
Camera's gone. Well, you can still hear me, so that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Let me get this one for you. There's a book. Oh, Jesus. Right, write this down. Daniel P. Brown, Pointing Out the Great Way. All right.
All right.
That's better than Ingram's book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Type. I bet it's not as good as the handbook for the recently enlightened.
I haven't read that, Tommie.
I sent it.
When's the last time I read a book that fast, man? I think it's when we did that Stealing the Fire from Heaven. Remember that one?
Oh yeah, the cum guzzling book.
The cum guzzling one. I read that in like 2 days or something, because it was just like, oh my god, so this is what magic is. Okay, cool. I'm in. And then you sent me this one, Duncan's book that's impossible to find. Yeah. And demolished it. 2 days, gone. Yeah, done.
Awesome. I really enjoyed it too. He should definitely reprint that one, Duncan. Reprint that one, or rewrite it, whatever. Make that information available. Maybe in a podcast. How about that? Like, have you thought about maybe doing a podcast?
Fucking requests.
Yeah.
I got christened the Omegas there the other day. That was funny.
You got what?
And
what,
a saint. What? I got christened the Magus.
Oh right, yeah.
Baptized, maid. A maid? Was I maid one? Was I in
Were you?
inducted?
Weren't you always one? In a funny way, weren't you always one?
Don't know. So now, you were saying the other day we need names. So.
Oh yeah. We need some really obnoxious new names, spiritual names.
Donald Trump.
No. Yeah. Buddha Larper.
Buddha Larper. Buddha Larper, Spud Murphy. I like it. Could you imagine? How could you? Oh, Jesus Christ! Could you imagine this weekend we're putting on a meditation course and our special guest speaker is Buddha Larper, Spud Murphy.
And the plug. I'll just call myself something stupid like the plug. Buddha Larper and the plug. His Holiness the Plug. His Holiness the Plug.
Oh jeez, isn't that mad? It's just like it's mad that the way that the podcast worked again. Just that like this big things happen to us, and then like okay, we need a break now because we need to sort our heads out, think about what the fuck is going on. Which was I didn't have any time to think about it at all. I mean, I drove down there on Sunday. I was awoken at fucking 5:30 the next morning, and he's like, "Yeah, your man's ready with the goats." I'm like, "What?" Like within 20 minutes of waking up, I had a baby goat in my arms, just going like, "Hold on a minute, I was just talking to God a couple of days ago. What the fuck is going on here?" Like, you know what I mean? I'm
meant to be in Tesco's or something.
You're giving a lamb, you're giving a baby lamb, but it's a goat. Satan.
Satan.
And even prior to that, we had been in the field, and the new horse had been born, and it was a mess. The thing from the mare was still on the ground, and not the baby, the thing that Heston Blumenthal eats.
Nitrogen.
After part.
What's that? Frozen everything, but frozen that smoky thing. What's that called? Incense. the cold stuff. Liquid nitrogen. Jesus Christ, Tommie's brain.
Heston Blumenthal's new entrees are going to be horse afterbirth with nitrogen. Yeah,
but it looks like horse afterbirth with nitrogen, but what actually is fish and chips. When you cut into it, this is a chip. All right, okay. It just looks like bloody afterbirth and nitrogen. Okay. You're a genius. Oh, the way your mind works, man. In fairness, I do really like him. I think he is a bit of a genius. He's mad.
He seems sound, but his food is bizarre.
Oh, I wouldn't eat any of it. Jesus, like, here's a fried egg that's really a sponge. Will you stop? Just give me a fried egg. Come on, man.
or a sponge. Just give me one or the other.
Give me the sponge.
Twisting my melon, man. So a whole week of fucking although on Friday I built a wall. It's the first wall I've ever built in my life, a timber wall. It's great.
Did the Mexicans pay for it? Did they?
Well, I didn't get paid. So what do you think? Is that racist? Is that racist?
Is that appropriate?
Is that appropriate?
Is that racist, or is that just a biting indictment of current relations that is hard to know these days? Hard to know.
I just don't know. But on what day was that? Thursday or Friday? I was there on my own. I had a chainsaw, I had a fucking table saw, and I had an impact driver, and I was just like, I'm literally the happiest man on the planet. And
the most testosterone-filled man at that point as well. Just bulgy muscles.
Just fucking
real man.
Picking up the chainsaw, cutting shit, and then the other thing was straightening them up. It was great, man. I'm just like, this is bad. I should be contemplating on herself now, shouldn't I? Thinking about what's going on. Does this mean I'm a fucking mystic? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, well, obviously it does. Jesus Christ, man.
Okay.
What a stupid question.
Okay, well, I needed someone to tell me, okay. Well, if I know what it is, then I can fucking deal with it. Man, Duncan was on to me and he's like, look, like, the differences between what... And that's not to be all name droppy. I don't like doing that, but it is like, he says something funny that, like, you can see the kind of the cultural differences between me and you and what him and Alan Chapman were doing when they were doing their hijinks, and that, like, they were doing stuff when they were like, I am the all-powerful magician who can... Whereas, like, me and you were like, here, the other night I had this thing. It's fucking mad. Wait till you hear this. Like, we're just
yeah. Do you think it means anything?
Spud, he's like, Spud, you're a saint now, you know that? And I'm like, Am
I?
Okay.
Does my wife agree? I don't think so. No, she doesn't.
I was like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, I mean, so
funny.
many questions.
It's funny because I was like, I was also talking to Duncan. Let me name drop. I hate that too, but like I was. So what are you gonna do? You know, that's the way it is. It's easy to talk to Duncan though. You just Twitter him. Like I mean, it's same as like when I say, oh, I talk to Alan Chapman. It's easy to talk to Alan Chapman.
He's not gonna
you
like
pay him
that
money and he talks to you. It's fine, you know. Or you go onto his Discord or whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, but and I was saying to him that what I'd really need is for God to come down and tell me it was all true, and his answer was, of course, that already happened. I mentioned that in my video, but I was reading in How Enlightenment Changes Your Brain, and there's literally that exact same thing happens to someone else. He comes in and goes, I would need God to come down and shake my hand and tell me it's all true. And your man's answer was, no, if God came down and shook your hand and told you it was all true, you still wouldn't believe it. You'd probably think you were mental. So, just kind of making the point of that no matter what happens, once you're set in a kind of a mindset, it's very hard to get out of it.
Yeah. And you're always going to project your past experiences and biases and all this, even your genetics into it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that I seen. It was that documentary I was telling you about, Heaven's Gate, which is really, really good. It's a HBO Max, I think. I don't know. Again, it's not where I found it, but and it's about that UFO call that started in 1975, and then 39 of them committed suicide in the mid 90s. Been beamed up and seemed quite happy about it.
As part of an advert for Nike shoes, wasn't it?
It wasn't quite that bad, but it wasn't far off.
Is that appropriate? Is that appropriate? We're going to get sued.
But there's a bit in it. I'm nearly sure. I watched a number of documentaries, but I'm pretty sure it's in this one. And they were talking about this experiment. And of course, I should have wrote down the name of the experiment. It was like the Murphy experiment, whatever it was. And it had 5 people sitting in a room, and 4 of them were in on it and 1 wasn't. And you were shown 5 lines with numbers under them, and you were to say which is the longest line. And for the first 2 rounds, everyone said what the longest line was, but by the 3rd time everyone else lied and said that a short line was the smaller line, or was the longest line, and 66-70% of people conformed to it. And it was kind of it's
because they just fall in line with a leader kind of thing.
And it's kind of, it didn't go into it, but it'd be interesting to find out how many of them actually knew they were lying and doing it, or how many was there a kind of a sense of, it must be the right line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know, but he seems to know, so I'll go with him.
That kind of thing. Yeah. So it's kind of, that's very interesting, because the way you're talking about, you bring your own baggage and all that as well, but it was kind of very similar to the notion I had around that I was saying about that sense that's always been there, and I just, in a sense, wasn't trusting it, or I don't know exactly what the right word, it's kind of, because we've talked about before that we assumed that an awakening experience, or we described it as being like looking at a puzzle picture or a picture, and then when you see the perspective, you can't unsee it. And I was kind of going, well, that doesn't seem to describe exactly what I'm on about, because it's not that something changed. It's just I realised something that was always there. It wasn't like suddenly, it's a cigar. Of course it's a cigar. I can't not see the cigar. But it was kind of like going, I always knew it was a cigar. So, the picture hasn't changed. But I think it was something along the lines of that. When you're constantly told that the shortest line is number 4, and you're going, no, it's number 5. No, it's 4. No, it's number 5. And then you finally go, it is 4. Right, it's 4. Right, there you go. And then one day you go, it's fucking 5! What am I doing? I knew it was 5 all along. There it is, staring me in the face. So, yeah. And I was going, that describes it. Particularly with the anger bit. Go ahead, there was no anger involved with it at all, but it makes for a better joke.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, well done. Did you stay up all night writing that, did you?
I mean, that's 4th rewrite, 5th rewrite. There was a lot of inappropriate racist remarks at some point. For some reason, I don't know why that happened. It wasn't relevant at all.
I'm glad you took out the bit about the Mexicans and landed on me, though. I wasn't ready for
whole
that
commentary on mental health and tennis. It was very strange. But I stripped it back. Kept it succinct, just to the point, I just...
Yeah. I still can't make sense of what happened to me, and I don't think I'm going to try either. No, I will try, but I need to just kind of... It's funny, because, this thing says to you, okay, write this down, make a book out of it. Well, no, I shouldn't say make a book, I should teach it. So, okay, if I need to teach it, I need to obviously write it down. But, so I sat down to write it down, and I decided, right, the kind of best way to start this is probably I'll write out the transcript of me and you doing it on the podcast, which is fucking hilarious, man. Did
you do it from YouTube? Did you
yeah.
That thing, yeah. So with half the words wrong.
Oh no! I just downloaded it from YouTube. That's what I mean. No, I didn't go with the captions. The captions and my accent and your accent do not work at all.
It can be really funny at times, though.
So I said, right. So I'll start doing this and leave in all the jokes and make it funny or whatever. But then. And the next day my computer broke, which is like she said, no, that's not how you're doing it. And then, I had this thought then, right, so how am I going to do this? And a pen fell on the ground and I went, no, I'm not writing it.
That'll hurt my hand.
I'm not doing that,
give me a typewriter, anything, something mechanical, please.
They have a wicked sense of humour, these things, and I'm taking that as a joke. And the other day, was it before I left as well, I had another one. It was, I think it was explaining to you last podcast. Well, something seems to happen to me in these, what do you call them, luminous spaces, luminous times. So it's
luminous or liminal. Which one?
Liminal. Yeah. So it's like when I had this meditation after the big vision, a day or two after it, and there was doubt coming in, like, did this happen? Like, what the fuck happened? Like, did you just make this all up? What was this? And then I just got this flash of ask Aeon, and then beep, 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 the timer went off. Right. But it always seems to does this happen do you get a thing before, just right at the buzzer kind of thing?
No, I don't. No, not as a pattern. Not that I've noticed. No.
Okay, no, I've noticed this. And
Can you not just go? I've started, so I'll finish, and continue after the buzzer until.
But it's like whatever it is, just like does it at the moment. Maybe to just to hammer it home.
There was a friend of mine.
No, come here, but I have one more.
No, this is relevant to just the point. And he used to, back in the old days when it was people rang on payphones or whatever, so you'd go around and he'd ring you up, but just before the end he'd always go, oh, and one more thing, and hang up on you. Yeah. So is there an element of that going on? Oh, the secret of the universe. Beep, beep, beep. The answer you've always looked for. Beep, beep. I don't know. Maybe your HGA is a dick.
I was one of those annoying people that had my answer machine thing set up as, oh, hello. Right, how's it going?
Yeah.
You what? No, wait, no, who's this? And then beep beep, and like it used to rake everyone's heads, but I liked it, so whatever. Yeah. So this whisper voice, just I woke up, and then I fell back asleep, and then kind of between those two, and the kids were getting up and all that kind of stuff, I woke up again, and just as I was waking up, I heard this whisper, and it was the same whisper as I heard with the HGA, all that. Fucking seems like years ago. And it was Providence is given to those who take it. And I was like, oh fuck. What? Right. So I had to go look up. I didn't even know Providence actually meant.
Oh right, okay.
Do you?
Well, I have a vague kind of it's the God thing, isn't it? That the things are the way they're meant to be from the point of view of God, or something like the bigger plan thing. Am I right? Maybe I'm wrong. You tell me.
Almost, yeah, but it's a benevolent thing.
Oh, right.
It's a good thing. So it's not the Yahweh, horrible God of answers Job. Not that angry God.
Yeah,
it's that, God's way is God's benevolent way. So it's like, it's given to those. So if you want to take the good way, you just no. What was it? Providence is given to those who take it. So God helps those who helps themselves, I suppose.
Right, yeah.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
I don't know. What the fuck is going on with me? I don't understand.
You should take it, and then you'll find out. You take the advice, maybe. Take this Providence.
Yeah,
unless it means like Providence, and it's just confusing. It's actually the name of a dog. And you have to take it for a walk or something. You know any dogs called Providence?
It's fucking Providence in Rhode Island. That's what it is. They're like Spud invade America.
Just take it.
Over.
That's your land. That's your holy land. Just take it. It's for you. That God give that to you. Providence, Rhode Island. Spud lad, rename it. Stick a flag in it. I have a flag.
Buddha LARPers.
Yeah.
Need a flag. I wouldn't. It need to have some sort of rainbow in it, but the rainbow's been taken, hasn't it? I like the rainbow flag. Don't go there.
Oh well. Yeah. The rainbow, yeah. My wee man loves rainbows. He's rainbow everything. He's rainbow wellies, rainbow t-shirts, rainbow the whole thing. He's cool. Rainbows. It's like it's an iconic type symbol or whatever. You know, I know it has the connotations for the LGBT thing, but like, I mean, you still see a rainbow. It's still, you know, still going to be leprechauns with a crock of gold at the bottom of it.
Yeah, no, not over here, man. Over here, like if you wear Ant and Rainbow, then like you're pitching your flag saying, "I'm with them."
Right.
There's no in between, like. But it's just because the current Conservative government a couple of years ago just seeing the LGBTQ plus, I think that's right, as a target. So let's target them, let's make fun of them. And since then, like, you know yourself, there's just the fucking Neanderthals who hate them. It'll change, like everywhere. It just needs a bit of time, you know.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
if
Ireland can do it, Jesus, anywhere can do it.
Yeah, exactly. If Ireland can do it. See, the thing is like. It's not that there aren't gay. Obviously, there's gay people. I'm just gonna say gay people for everyone because that's the fucking age I am. Obviously, there's gay people here, but like in fairness, most of them just kind of move away because it's like they're in their 20s and they're in rural fucking Bistiada and they're gay and they're like, yeah, I'm going to England to get loads of cock. And you're going for work, are you? Yeah,
yeah, going for work. Yeah.
And so people just don't stay around because it's still quite conservative that way. But it'll change, like, you know, be alright. Be grand. So, you know.
Yeah, hopefully sooner rather than later. But,
yeah. Hope so.
We're going to talk about this documentary?
Yes. Let's do it.
Yeah, I rewatched it because, Jesus, it's so long since I watched it the last time. What was it actually called? Bob Dobbs.
I have it here. J.R. Bob Dobbs and the Church of SubGenius.
Yeah. It is currently on YouTube. I think it's kind of cheekily on YouTube because it's not uploaded by... It's like uploaded by Jim Frank or whatever it is. Like, it's not someone who seems to be connected with it. But that's where I watched it. But I couldn't find it to, you know, watch it properly. It's on Prime America, maybe. It's hard to know.
All right.
So the kind of gist of this is that it feels like something that would have happened in the 60s, but it happened in the early 80s, kind of late 70s possibly, and it was just kind of two guys with nothing better to do having a laugh and just kind of messing around and kind of seeing that almost like they're kind of poking fun at people of the world being a bit too serious, and you know that you should perhaps laugh at even to the point of laugh at, you know, the bad stuff, you know, at the things you're not meant to laugh at. And but it was kind of started, the original kind of thing was they were on CB radios, and just like the original trolls is what they call themselves. But not, they call themselves trolls, but the kind of notion we have of trolls now are people who are dicks, and they definitely weren't being dicks. They were just trying to be funny and, you know, pretend to be aliens, or, you know, they weren't trying to... I don't know, like they weren't, you know, that kind of typical Facebook troll that you just go, oh, you're just being a dick, you're not actually being funny, you're not making a point. It's not that kind of thing. But so eventually they got guys talking back to them, and they just decided that they were these were aliens talking to them. And the cat calling them pink boys. Yeah, the aliens would call them pink boys. So they turned this word pink boys, and then they took it down to pink, because I feel that they might have felt that pink boys might be inappropriate in some way.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, because when Penn is talking about, he only ever mentions pink, he never says pink boy, so I assume there's some notification with that. So the pink boys or the pinks are the people who you hate, who annoy you, and that's everyone. So it's kind of like that, I suppose, that bros thing.
The man.
Yeah, you know, there's two people, I can never remember what it is, like he's a termination for it, but the man, the thing, you know, the kind of definition of conspiracy is anything that bothers you is a conspiracy. That's it. All of it. You know, so a touch of all of these things or whatever. But yeah,
it's good crack, because I was when you sent it to me first, I looked through it quickly and went, oh no, this is like a Discordian thing, and I thought it's, I said this before about the Discordians, is that like it seems fun and good crack and all that, but there's a thin line between like having the crack and just going with it for shits and giggles, and then like taking it a little bit too seriously. And just the bits that I had gone through this, I thought, oh no, this is a bit too
and there
serious.
can be a thing in
But then I was totally wrong though.
Yeah, there's like an elitism to Discordian that I don't really enjoy. Like that.
I was totally wrong. This is bloody hilarious.
Yeah,
this is great
hilarious.
crack.
Yeah,
it's really funny. And they're lovely lads. What's it, Ivan? Ivan is the kind of main guy, isn't it?
I can't remember
Philo,
names, to be honest. Yeah.
I think. And Ivan reminds me of one of my mate's dads. He's an American, well, he died there not that long ago. He's an American lad as well who looks just like him. And he's just kind of like former hippie dude, man. Grey hair and grey beard kind of thing. And you're like, oh my God, it's just this fucking spitting image of him. And like, he could definitely have, maybe he was in them. Kind of thing. But it's like these kind of former hippies who kind of missed out on the hippieisms and the hippie times, and said, yeah, let's just like start not a religion. Well, I suppose it is a religion. Start a spoof religion. Yeah, and we'll just kind of.
But I don't think even though, well, they very quickly get into kind of designing the religion. But originally they were just sending stupid cassette tapes to each other, making recordings of stupid ads and making up flyers that were just so ridiculous. But it was just kind of, it was more like. It felt more like an art piece or a performance, you know. It felt more like a theatre group in a sense than it was a religious thing, you know. And even when they went on to kind of jump down, when they started doing those two big nights for to kill the saviour, that was so brilliant. You know, it still, they had that performance thing, and all the kind of lectures or the kind of talks they were doing always had like, it was a guy, you know, just like a performance piece rather than, you know, someone lampooning it rather than really trying to take it seriously or trying to like, there was like an acknowledgement in the performance that this wasn't real, you know, this was ridiculous. So they needed, what Tommie's saying, they needed this figurehead of the religion kind of thing, you know. Christianity has Jesus, there's Buddha, there's Muhammad for Islam. So they had this 1950s. There's the plug for Adventure in Movie. His Holiness the Plug. Yeah. His Holiness
the Plug. Who fits in holes. See how it works? Do you see how it works here? Do you see? I'll have to spell it out for you. So they
those
picked these 1950s.
Who have ears to listen and eyes to see, it is all clear.
Where does a flame go?
When is a flame? Before it's a flame?
It goes out. I know the answer to that one. It goes out. Yes, but where? Out into the thing. Where? The flame goes out. Why aren't you listening? The flame goes out. Yeah. Okay? It doesn't go anywhere. It goes out.
At what point does it stop being a flame? When it goes out. At what point does it become a flame? When it starts. Next question. One hand clapping. Look, I can do it. I can literally do it.
Come on. They're good crack, aren't they? Yeah, you'd look, but it'd be mad if you had like some, you know, you send all these like upstarts from like some inner city Dublin school to like some Zen training centre, and they'd have the best answers to all the cones. They'd destroy all the Zen masters, and they'd just be like, by the end of it, they'd be slobbering messes, just going, I don't believe in anything anymore. These Dubliners have ruined my life.
Zen master all in heroin in Abbey Street.
Fucking this is one hand clapping, you idiot. Yeah, look, you fucking idiot.
With your robes, you fucking twit. Your robes. What do you think you are, Bonnie? Why have you no eyebrows? What's wrong with you? Anyway, Bob Dobbs.
Yeah, so they took this clip art image of this, and you'll have seen this fella because there's like memes on like really really old memes. It's like tequila getting ugly people to have sex since 1865. Yeah. You know that guy? So that's him. Bob Dobbs, and they have him as this 1950s slick hair, nice suits. He's like a fucking door-to-door vacuum salesman or something. Yeah. And he's their saviour. So eventually it comes to this thing that Tommie was saying. They put on these shows in New York as they're becoming more and more popular, and they're just mental. But as he comes out on stage to give his speech and his manifesto, he's killed.
Immediately killed, shot, dead.
Immediately killed. He says not like he comes out in waves once or twice. The crowd is going absolutely mental, and all of the SubGenius guys are going crazy. And then this baddie gets up and kills him. And the baddie thing is it's hilarious. I think Philo Drummond was his name or something. Strange surname there. And they had set up this faction within the church of like these goodies and baddies. He was like, they were a more kind of militant.
Oh yeah.
Get
to your enemies.
Like, they had to kill the man. They had to kill the pinks or the pinkos or whatever, and they just wanted to kind of crash down society so they could spread the word of SubGenius more. But it was like, it was the most. They always went the furthest. Like they brought it to the edge of good taste. But like, it's what's allowed in the religion. But
there was also the kind of idea that some people did start, like, not the main players, but those people in the periphery that started taking it way too serious and seeing it as an actual religion, and they were saying things like that. They started replacing, their childhood religion in an unhealthy way. Let's say, in that, it's like just going from one thing to look for. Not seeing the joke of it, I suppose, is the thing.
Yeah, because it got to the stage of the Columbine.
Yeah. That's where it kind of goes on a bit wrong for them, in the sense of that when they're the people who are poking fun at all these things, and then the world gets really serious, and then it has another twist where mainstream media is essentially doing what they were doing as a joke. And it's like going, how do you lampoon the thing that you've been how do you lampoon a double lampoon kind of thing? Yeah, that type. Yeah.
Make a film, Police Academy it, and then just drag it out for nine episodes of films until it completely beat it to death. No, so the Columbine shootings happened. And it's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, to be honest. Tommie's making faces at me. Tommie's literally making faces at me.
I'm holding up jokes on cards.
So he rang in the guy who led this kind of faction, who always brought things too far. He rang up a local radio station and says, it's not like from listening to heavy metal or listen to records backwards. It's because these are part of the Church of SubGenius.
Yeah.
And it just took the wrong turn. And he did it because this is like the thing that he does is the trolliness.
Well, that was his job, was to convince the world that the Church of SubGenius was an actual threat. That was his function. His that was as a joke, but not, I suppose. Probably not. It's hard to know. If you're taking it seriously.
No, he did. He knew he was joking.
What I mean, like, if you're going to tell everyone that you're a threat, then you're eventually going to be seen as a threat.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. Rather than you can't like, if you're telling a joke and no one else knows it's a joke, is it a joke? If a tree tells a joke in the forest and no one is around, is it a joke?
What is it? The colour green?
Yeah.
Hell you and your rose.
Fucking no eyebrows.
Yeah, so but
what's with the beads? What's with the beads? Fuck off.
The other lads in the church, in the SubGenius church, they knew it was a joke because they heard this radio thing and they were like, they knew straight away what he was up to and where he was coming from. But the radio interviewer ran with it, and then it got on local media and then national media, and then they were fucking screwed.
Yeah, kids taken away from parents and stuff like that, and actual repercussions. And they're saying that the only reason you got our kids back was because the husband screwed up some way. Not that it was, they were absolved of any wrongdoing. It was like, but even within all that, like, the main guy has an awful lot of humour around it. Like, he didn't seem like he got too stressed about it or something. Or at least he doesn't. Not in the interviews anyway. Like, he's like kind of going.
Well, I mean, it's a long time. When was Columbine? 20 years ago? More?
Well, yeah. So it's Marilyn. Yeah, it's 90s, isn't it? Early 90s, Marilyn Manson era, whatever that was. Yeah, mid 90s, I would say.
Good while ago now, I mean, it's terrible, but like, and he did something after 9/11 then as well. This guy, this Drummond guy.
The kind of thing that kind of set them up then was that they had to predict the end of the world, as you have to do in a cult. That's part one. That's there in the terms and agreements.
What's it? They have it isn't it every year around July 5th, around 5:30 in the morning or something like that. Quarter past 7. Around 7:15, they gather in this place, look up at the sky, and say this big mad prayer, and nothing happens. So they just get drunk and eat sausages. That's what it looked like. Looked like good crack.
Yeah, good crack. And then he's just kind of. It just kind of does, and he's saying there's a work doing. He says, well, it's very little work and it pays my mortgage and has done for the last while. He says, just last week I had to go down to the post office and someone had sent me a letter and they didn't pay for the postage and I had to pay, he says, like $2.40 to get this, and there was $1,000 in it. So,
Cha-ching.
So, like, I mean, it's like a perfect job for a hippie. You know what I mean? Like, just that's, and that whole thing about Slack, which is the main kind of, what's the word? The main thing to promote or whatever. And it's like, Slack is it's one of those things that's best kind of understood by, he says, you know what, when you don't have it, it's not exactly it's not laziness. It's that kind of relaxation. It's the opposite of being under pressure in that kind of way. It's like not feeling you have to prove yourself, not feeling you have to work yourself to death. It's the opposite of hustle culture completely. But it's not laziness. It's not don't do anything. It's,
at ease.
At ease, that's it. It's that, and so I really like that. I think that's brilliant. And all of us could do it. A bit of Slack.
Jesus, for
not
sure.
Not the work group app. Well, we all do it less of that. But
less of that. I was watching just going, geez, I wish these were around when I was in secondary school, because I'd have been like front and centre joining them up for the crack. Because like we used to do shit like this. The first band I had in back at home was like, your man Andy had a CB radio, and we would get on that, and we would have a show. We would do a 2 or 3 hours set on a Friday night. The only people who listened to us were the bikers down the road, but that's cool, man.
Yeah, that's cool.
The bikers were listening to like us, like 14, 15-year-olds play Metallica songs for like 2 hours and talk shite like.
Yeah, you see that the frontier's gone, which is so sad, because like we were probably the last generation to have that sort of a frontier where you have like, even when the internet came out, like I remember being on the internet like say 98. And you could, you'd have your own radio station and 2 people would listen to it. But it was like, you were like on the boundaries, like you were pirate radio, whatever. Like it felt like you were breaking. Now you just go, you pay DistroKid $10 a year and you can put your songs to Spotify. Yeah, that on. There's no kind of, but I suppose that's why Elon Musk wants to go to Mars, because that's the frontier type thing.
Yeah, but isn't it? There's something in, there's a bit of enslavement there, though, isn't it? Well, not a bit.
Oh, not a bit. Absolutely. It's like them and us, like 100%.
I'll pay, but it's like I'll pay for you to come, but it's a loan. Like it's a loan. It's like I'm not paying for you to come. Like you owe me the money when you get there, so you're gonna have to work with diamond hands or whatever the fuck it is he talks about now.
Yeah, it's so odd. Elon Musk really he confuses me, because it's like he's everything that everybody on Twitter hates. Billionaire, spoiled kid, racist parents, all that stuff, but he likes memes, so he's cool, That seems to be it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I want to like him.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know.
I'm not highly suspicious of him. Sometimes he does. And then he's like Sam Harris. You go, oh, Sam, that's really interesting. And then you say something ridiculously assholic. And you go, right, Sam. I have that with him. Like, you go, yeah, right, cool. Yeah. And then, really? Oh, you're a giant twat, aren't you? But I mean, I'd say that about me too. That could be just a symptom of being a human being rather than, as someone on the internet. But it's just someone was pointing out recently, they're saying like his whole kind of giving out about the environmental impact that Bitcoin is having on the world. But like, don't mention the whole environmental impact that, his industry has on it, electric cars and.
Well, yeah, that's your man, the CEO of Binance. Do you know what Binance is? Binance is like the world's biggest crypto coin trading website. Oh, so right, if you want to trade crypto coins, usually you start on something like Binance. Right. It's like Paddy Power of kind of type of thing,
Okay.
No, that's not what I mean. It's just it's the biggest website for this thing.
Right, yes.
Whereas like Paddy Power is the biggest for gambling. That's what I mean. Right. So he put out a thing.
Bitcoin's a gambling game too. Don't care what that is.
Oh well, of course. Yeah. But like he was saying that like when it's okay. Yeah, exactly. What more or less it's okay to give out about Bitcoin being an environmental thing with electricity, but when you when you make electric cars, then it's totally fine, and it's
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah, that
doesn't
does,
envir-
Yeah.
It's like what? Yeah, like obviously, I don't know. I think it's a ploy by him. Sure, like even like he went on Saturday Night Live there a while ago, and
Loads of people lost money. He lost 30 billion or something in a day or something.
Destroyed the price of Dogecoin.
Is it Doge or Dog? I have no idea how that's
Doge, no, this is what they say on videos. They call it Dogecoin. I thought it was Dogecoin. There's no fucking
Well, it's a
D
dog.
in it at all.
It's a dog.
I know, yeah, I know. But
I know,
the
good
E
dog.
is the E is meant to mean something as well.
Oh, it's ironic, isn't it?
Conspiracy theory. No, anytime you see an E
If
in
a
one of these
dog
coins.
has an E.
Now, let me give you the conspiracy, right?
Okay.
So, if you see an E in one of these crypto coins, it's supposed to mean that it's going to be one of these global coins used around the world, and the way that.
But that can't work with the dog or Dodge because that's a meme that predates Bitcoin. The dog E meme, like it was a whole made as a joke around that meme. So.
Oh yeah, but it's still like, I mean, look at the crypto charts now thing. It's like top 5 or top 10.
Oh yeah, no,
something.
I'm saying that the conspiracy, not that it's a.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. The conspiracy came after it, like to make it fit. That's all fucking conspiracies do, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I still kind of like. There's times when I think, oh yeah, he's pretty cool, and then there's other times where it's like, but like, shut the fuck. Who cares what my opinion is?
Yeah, but I'm highly.
You know?
I see an awful lot of people, good people with brains, intelligent people, kind of have this kind of feeling that like he's a savior character, a messiah character, and he's definitely not. He's a naughty boy, as to go back. Putting the future of mankind or your hopes and your dreams or whatever to be saved by Elon Musk. I'm not a betting man, but I'm going to suggest.
Well, I mean, I'd rather
bet.
him than the Bezos fella, to be honest. But like, it's much of a muchness.
Yeah, but that's my point. How is it? It's not. If Bezos liked memes, we'd all love him. He'd be great if he was. If he did, was on PewDiePie a couple of times. It'd be all great. Everything's great. He's a great character, great man. Look at him. But it's the.
I don't know. So we'll see. Like I don't know. Like the SNL thing was. I can't make up my mind if he was doing that on. Like, did he know like going on it and talking about Doge would make the price go down, or did he think and then he just buys more? Because it'll go back up again eventually, or does he think that far ahead? I don't know.
He was anti-Bitcoin for a long while, though, wasn't he? It's only recently he kind of changed his mind about it. As if I know an awful lot of him. That's all secondhand I get from Reddit, and Reddit loves him and hates him. It's like Joe Rogan.
And hates him.
Well, at the minute they hate Joe Rogan, and I don't think he's coming back from that. Once Reddit hates you, I think it kind of sticks. They don't. It's like Tumblr hating you. Jesus, like God, imagine Tumblr hated you. That's the end.
Ooh,
of your life.
Tumblr's still around?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay.
They got rid of all the porn, and 90% of people left. But
so that's why I don't know then what Tumblr does anymore.
It's still big for occult stuff and witchy stuff, huge for witchy stuff, and for I don't know, people who like to be outraged. That's probably not fair, but that's the kind of consensus of how it's portrayed on the internet. I haven't been on Tumblr.
Tumblr is. Twitter's the same. It's just outrage nation. Yeah. Everyone, why do you come on the internet just to give out? Just go shout at some birds or something.
Don't shout at birds. Birds did nothing wrong. Birds aren't real anyway.
That's a bad example. Birds aren't real. Yeah, go shout at them because they're not real.
Yeah.
Oh no, then the government be able to track you though.
The government
they know you're an
shouting.
aggressive fucker. Don't go shout at. Shout at little children, strangers, not the ones that you know. Just
shout inside your own head and become sad and depressed, and then go to therapy for a while.
Become like the guy in Home Alone with the snow shovel, and just.
Or become president
be a
of
local
America.
legend.
So yeah,
become president of America. I saw someone had a joke about that. Some Irish stand-up. He was like, the difference between like Irish and American parents is that like, an American kid can say to their parents, when I grow up, Daddy, I want to be president of the United States of America, and the parents would go, well, you can be anything you want. This is America. You can be anything you want. Whereas if I said to my old fella that I want to be president of Ireland when I grow up, he would sarcastically call me the president until the day he died. Oh, here's Mr. President. Oh, look, here's himself, huh? Mr. President, huh?
The Joey memes, just the perfect. I can't imagine that people outside of Ireland are really getting the full enjoyment out of those Joey memes or Matt LeBlanc memes that have been going around.
They're pretty funny, all right. Yeah. So, go on, look at Joey memes, because there's this thing, because Joey is wearing a shirt that's a bit too small for him, and he has a belly now and a big chin.
And he looks like every middle-aged man at a wedding in Ireland.
Every middle-aged uncle from Roscommon or Limerick or Leitrim. Or he's just like,
still at the podcasting, are you, Spud? Still at the podcasting.
You're still doing the podcast now, are you? And how do you making any money? No.
Would you make much money out of that now?
What's the one? And where are you now? You're in Dublin, are you? Why are you you're studying law? Oh, geez, sir, look, I know who to get in touch then with if I ever get in trouble. It's exactly what these out uncles kind of say to you. They're very, very funny. They're great. Did you watch His Friends Out? I don't know what's going on there. Did you watch
the 20-year reunion? No, I didn't watch it.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like supposedly really sad because like Matthew Perry, I really like Matthew Perry. I think he's brilliant in Studio 60 and I really like him in Friends. But he's had a tough life and he looks broken. And I've seen it from Ness. He goes, he doesn't come across like he's in a good place.
But I presume this is all a $10 million thing for everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were whatever, they got $1 million each an episode or something, didn't they? Or something, I can't remember. I don't know. Enough money.
Towards the end of it.
But they were one of the first people, and they were quite clever, and it's that thing of, they all told each other what they were getting, which, sort of broke that secrecy. So they then went and argued how much they should be getting as a team, rather than that, that kind of, that's so stupid thing that we have in culture. Don't tell anyone what you're earning. That's how to win. That's how to win.
Look, would you stop? Would you? You apply for jobs here in Poland, and they don't even advertise how much money is you're going to be paid for. Like you have to go to the interview, and literally your last question is, oh, by the way, what's the pay? Yeah. And like I've travelled like 3 hours for this interview. I had no idea what the pay is.
It's a McFlurry.
It's what? No, like I'd make that on a Wednesday. No, I'm not. What, are you joking me? It's so fucking weird here with stuff like that. Like at least in Ireland, the bracket.
Yeah. You'll know that. Yeah.
Over here, nothing. No. Just nothing. You have to go through the interview. Like you'll get a telephone interview first, and then you go to the proper one. You still don't know what the money is, and you're not supposed to ask during the first one because they mightn't bring you for the second one. So what the fuck's that? Yeah. It's very, very strange, very secret. Don't understand it.
It needs more slack. More of these.
Needs more slack. Oh. What else was in this that I like? Yeah, Penn Jillette was in it. Matt Groening was in it. Devo were in it. David Byrne was in it.
Ron Swanson.
Yeah, Ron Swanson. He's a cool motherfucker, isn't he? Yeah. Jon Stewart was in it there for a while. And what's the Letterman thing? I've Letterman written down.
He's Letterman when he's talking about 9/11. And he says, I don't trust myself. That's the only thing I can remember Letterman saying. I don't trust myself in what jokes I would make about this being so serious because I spent my life kind of... and it's that kind of thing where that's the point where it becomes, when is something too sacred or too close or too whatever to make jokes about. And they went that way. And then it kind of moved into the whole thing of, well, once fake news came out and all of that, it was kind of going, well, what do we do here? Because this is essentially what we've been doing, and now it's become the normality. I think that's the only thing I can remember about Letterman. Anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. They started saying stuff that like it started becoming a bit corporate and attracting weird. Yeah, there was people who were joining the SubGenius church and they were like, this is for real. Because like their thing with the end of the world was that they were going to be saved because the pleasure saucers were coming with the sex goddesses. Okay, I can go with that.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be 1990. Yeah, they had this big thing in 1998 for when it was predicted, and when it didn't happen,
to tie him up and everything.
They lubed him up and covered him in pink feathers, and then sacrificially drowned him in a lake.
Brilliant.
It's very, very. It's really funny. They're a good crack. It's the kind of like definitely if they'd have been around, if I'd have known who they were in secondary school, I definitely would have joined up because just doing these like funny radio shows for your mates and printing pamphlets. We done all this shit in school as well, And it just sounds like great juvenile fun, not taking itself too seriously, and good crack. I liked it.
Yeah, I'll put it in the show description, but if you can find it somewhere else where the people, the makers get paid, if you can stream it somewhere that's legit, please do. But because that's
they do this thing as well. Sorry, that there were moments during the church's kind of history where things did go wrong, like the Columbine thing, like the 9/11 thing, and like what's good about them is that they all kind of own up to it and say, yeah, we went too far there. Whereas a lot of these things, like they wouldn't. Like, could you imagine Scientology ever saying, yeah, we went too far there? No. They're like, we didn't go far enough, double down kind of thing, So that's cool. And they kind of say, look, like, they say this thing about, make fun of the right thing, but also make fun of the wrong thing, which I like. And it's that thing that fucking, I think I said to you before, I'll name drop here. When I interviewed Tim Dillon ages and ages ago, I used to ask this kind of common question of that, like, there's this thing in comedy that, like, you should punch down, and he's like, no, fuck that, man, punch everywhere. And this is the same thing. It's like but I believe it as well. Like, there's no sacred cows. Like, just everything can be poked fun of, everything, and it's good to find the joke in everything because, like, fucking, like this thing that I've been going through the last week or whatever, visions and seeing shit. Like, if I took all that like mad seriously, I'd be like dressing in robes and living on a mountain.
I'm expecting your robes to be delivered any day, Spud, I have to be honest.
No, but like, no, but you still have to make fun of it and just go,
sure.
like,
well, not necessarily make fun of it, but have humour with it.
Have humour.
As soon as it becomes serious, like Stuart Wilde, I talk about him, no one cares, but I like him. His big warning, and he didn't follow his own advice, is that seriousness is the death of all spirituality and the death of all your life, everything. Just don't be serious. And he had this rogueness, this kind of, this kind of cheeky chappy, but, poking fun, that whole kind of lovely thing, not trying to harm anything, but just not taking anything seriously, in the end he got very serious and he, very dark and all that. But yeah, the whole seriousness thing, it's like, that's, you can find an awful lot of like teachers I gravitate towards, or lectures or whatever, books or whatever, always have that kind of undercurrent of there's a humour to it. It's not, I understand like in some sort of books or whatever that they're more kind of academic, you can't really have that, but that's the form that's in. But like a general kind of thing, you need humour around it. You need to be able to laugh. You need, Jesus Christ, if there is a God, and I'm pretty sure there is, he's having a great laugh. So I mean,
I'd say God has the best sense of humour ever. Well, he has to, by definition, kind of thing. This is mad. So like, I mean, like, like Spud has this mad vision of meeting this thing, and she tells him stuff. But then, like, a week later, he's holding a baby goat. Like, that's fucking, that's pretty fucking funny, I think. You know what I mean? Like, here is a secret word. Go and teach the masses. Also, hold this goat.
and eat this period that came out of this horse period. Is what Bert? Oh, it's getting out of hand. I've fallen apart. My brain's leaking.
It's he had to lift it up with a sprong and put it in a bucket. It's massive, man. But think about it. It covers a foal.
Yeah.
Very strange. and I have a video of the foal standing up for the first time. It's so cute. The way that so a horse's leg is kind of made. There's the hoof at the bottom which doesn't really move. It only moves when it stands, kind of thing. It's like your ankle kind of thing. Well, it's not even your ankles. It's kind of your toes, but in your ankle, our ankle on them. No, our ankle on them is up much higher. But
all right.
So usually it just moves up and down. As they're stepping, but on the baby horses they move like 360.
Right,
so when they stand up first, they just go and fall over, and I'm there with a video camera going, idiot.
Nice one.
What else? He says at the end of the thing that think for yourself and be your own leader, which is just fucking exactly.
I think Buddha said something similar about being your own lamp or something.
But any religion that has that is the good one. They're on the right side of things because just get in line and do what I say because I wear a frock every Sunday. don't be going with those guys.
No.
Because they're the baddies. You know, it's the ones who say think for yourself and learn from your own experience, be your own leader. But it doesn't mean you have to lead other people. It just means, take the reins of your life and fucking own your shit. You know.
And don't impose what you've learned on other people, because as we've learned from the Enlightenment book is that at the end of the thing, everyone has a different, you know, it all means something different to them in the end. And for you to demand that it means this, to force your UPG in them, it just seems counterproductive, you know. And also, I suppose people do it as well to kind of validate their experiences. But, you know, you don't need your experiences validated by outside. That's part of my journey, but I've learned it, or I'm in process of learning it, you know. Validate your own.
Yeah,
stamp your own ticket. Stamp your own passport.
Your own opinion is the most important to yourself, because it's.
But don't believe your own shit too. That's the clarity of that. Like, you know.
No, don't go too far.
Yeah.
You know? Do you find I can see it already. Your moods are a lot better since you're. Since your embracement of this enlightenment stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, the huge amount of compassion that was sadness. That's a huge change. The anxiety has dropped like 99%. It's like, oh shit, there it is. That's weird. You know, and you go, why is that there? And it goes, oh sorry, just pass.
Is it a thing? Is it a thing though that when the black dog, black dog is an extension of it. That's the worst bit. No, when the little spanner springle comes along.
Yeah.
Can you identify him quicker and just flip it or what?
No, I can definitely say I know what it is, but sometimes, most of the time.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I absolutely know what you mean. Yeah, it's the hard bit is realising that you're not going to be in good form all the time. That's the thing. And then you kind of go, oh, I'm not in great form. Oh, is it gone? Is it gone? And you go, no, you're just not in good form. It's okay. You're not going to be in good form for the rest of your life. And what I've noticed is that my neutral setting, where everything's, I'm neither happy, neither sad, there's nothing, it's just kind of thing, I'm going, oh, this is weird, I don't know what this is, because I've
resting bitch face.
Because I've never had that. I've never had a neutral, because it all would drop,
right.
So it's just kind of going, oh, what is this? It's just kind of, oh, this is just life, that. So so when it has kind of dropped, I know why it's dropped, what it is, and I can be aware of it and know. Yeah. But whereas before I thought it was something I don't take it personally. That's the best way. It's not something. Yeah. It's a thing that it's like the three characteristics from Buddhism. It's a thing that's arising. It's just something that's happening. Yeah. It's not satisfactory, and it'll fuck off eventually. So it's like, so there it is, and you just kind of do it. But Well, once I kind of discovered that it wasn't going to be blistered out of my head all the time, then I went, right. This is okay.
I get you. No, that's it's similar enough then to mine. But like the other day, it was a Friday morning. I was just woke up in awful form, but to give myself an excuse, I had been working the two jobs. We were leaving 7 in the morning. A couple of nights we weren't home until 10 o'clock kind of thing, and then I had to do my writing job, kind of thing, working till 12, back up at 6:30 kind of stuff. And by Friday I was just tired and a bit grouchy, and Aga's ma was giving me breakfast, and I mean, she's lovely, but she talks a lot. And she talks at you. Not kind of to you. Doesn't wait for the answer, just kind of keeps piling. She'd be a great fucking interviewer because she just, But eventually, I just kind of had to say to her, "Look, I'm very tired today.
I'm not up for your shit, woman.
I'm doing a lot of work. I work with Richard until this time of night, and then when I come home, I have more work. And then so I had that, and I went off down to the horses, and I was still in bad form. Because usually that cheers me up, to be down with the horses and see them running around and whatever, fighting with each other. Because 3 mares and 3 babies, and the mares hate each other. They're so fucking super protective. It's awesome, the fights. You're
going to set up a YouTube channel, mare fights.
Yeah, mare fights. But you put down the oats for them, and the dominant one comes over, and she starts eating, and then the other two kind of try and sneak in when her head pops up, and she goes fucking nuts and tries to kick them and stuff. It's great crack. But
just give them separate places to eat. Like does that?
I do.
Right,
But the horses aren't. They're not. Horses are weird. They're smart, but when it comes to food, they're really dumb.
A bit like dogs. Dogs are the same.
Just incredibly dumb. They just lose all their intelligence when they smell food. But so I was down there and I was getting the stuff ready, and I was like, I was just having a full-on conversation about fight in my head. Spud, what's wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you in this bad mood? And eventually I kind of got the answer. I want, and then I went, there it is. Want. I want.
Yeah.
I'm not being, I'm wanting.
Yeah.
Boom. There you are.
Yeah.
Rest of the day, man. Woohoo! And then I got rewarded by being given a chainsaw and a saw and a table saw and an impact wrench. And I went, this is heaven. This is just, I get to cut wood and bring water. Isn't that what I'm supposed to do? Yeah.
Chop wood, carry water.
Okay, mission accomplished. What's next?
The thing I will suggest is just like try to cultivate a bit of compassion towards yourself, man. You know what I mean? It's like you can have an awakening or you can have whatever, insight, whatever. And you're still gonna have shitty days, and that's okay. You know, as like you read like any of these things, like even I don't know, Duncan, the new name that we can't mention, only have to mention every 5 minutes. Not the new name because we've talked about Duncan loads of times. But he's talked about, you know, like after 10 years after his awakening experience, he starts having panic attacks and stuff, and there's always a new level and there's a new thing, and that's kind of the troughs of the, you know, the insight, and then you go down, it's the dark night, and there's all of this kind of stuff. But you can kind of, if my experience is anything, you can be a bit too hard on yourself, or you can feel that something's, you know, maybe it isn't, this wasn't it, then if I'm bad from now, then that's, you know, wasn't, you know, and just kind of go, no, it's okay, just relax, just come, you know, just see it, there it is, you know, have a look at the characteristics of it, like what it's doing, rather than the content, you know, and just, you know, let it go, or don't let it go if you can't, but look at yourself not letting it go, you know, and just
be in it. Yeah. I get that too. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
How did we get here? Is this mission accomplished, Tommie? Can we still do the
Jesus
podcast?
Christ, absolutely
okay?
not. I think I would suggest that if you start saying mission accomplished stuff, that, you know, there's a huge Monty Python hand going to come down. I go, really, Spud? Is that what you think? You think it's all revealed? You think you know it all?
No,
maybe
God,
you should start a religion.
No. God, no. She said don't. She said don't start a religion. No dogma, no rules. That's what she said. Yeah. Go back and listen to it if you want it. I know no computer to write it on. Isn't that the biggest fuck
just,
you of all
just
time?
download the transcripts from YouTube and just take that as the word of God. It's like it's exactly. Oh, that's what the word really meant. Yeah, I get really into go through the whole like the geometry of it all, working out all the numbers for all the wrong. Yeah, there's an endless hole you can fall into, and in the end, it'll just be cool, man.
Be sound, meditate, be sound.
Be cool.
Bye, Tommie.
Bye.